Hi, y'all. Welcome to Spirit Mail. I'm Cheryl, and this is Daily Mail episode 60. So, before I get started, I just want to say love readings will start up again tomorrow. Today's been a day of a lot of introspection for me. So, do you know what that means? A lot of people think that means yes. You're good or okay or whatever. We do that a lot, right? Thumbs up. But I want everybody to look at their thumbprint, right? There are 7.9 billion people on this planet, or maybe it's 7.8 billion people on this planet. And nobody has an identical thumbprint. How is that even possible? Okay, so I want to talk about identity crises, because sometimes we go through what I would term an identity crisis. And I'm calling it that because I'm thinking about something a long time ago, not that long ago, a few years back, 5 years back, 6 years back, something like that. I had just opened my jewelry store, and this person said to me, well, I was so-and-so, I was talking to so-and-so, and they said, can you believe that, Cheryl? She's always reinventing herself. Like, she just constantly reinventing herself, like it was something bad. And then it made me feel a little bit small, because for many years, I've been in sales all my life, and I've sold everything from Kirby vacuum cleaners to financial products and services. So, and homes, and all of it, the only, I always laugh, the only thing I've never sold is myself and drugs, but I've sold about everything else. So people, whenever I run into like classmates or something like that, they say, oh, how are you doing? What are you doing now? And these were people who had been at the same job for 15, 20 years, 30 years, whatever, that and I've always admired people like that for their commitment to stay in one place and do the same thing. That's just not me. So, but every time somebody would say, so what are you doing now? I would just kind of feel like they think I'm wishy-washy. Like, do they think I'm flaky? What's the deal? And then I opened this jewelry store, and here's this girl who says to a friend of mine who came back and repeated it to me, Cheryl's always reinventing herself. She just can't decide what she wants. She's always reinventing herself. So it made me feel small. About probably, and this is what God does, right? And I say God meaning the energy that created this world, the creator, the universe, whatever it is you want to call it. I was visiting with some other friends, and I was talking about my plans to open a real estate brokerage. I had been a real estate agent for a long time, and then I decided I'm going to open this brokerage, but I still currently have this store. And so she looks at me, and she puts her drink down, and she says, Cheryl, you just amaze me, because you just decide you're going to do something and you just go do it. It's like you don't even fear anything. You just go do it. Well, those words, you just don't fear anything, for me, it kind of washed away all that other stuff. But I had been buying into that. Now, those people who said, what are you doing now? They didn't mean anything by it. That was me feeling inferior. That was my junk. But then this other lady who said she's always got to reinvent herself. Can't she decide what she's doing? It made me feel small. But then this other person says this other thing. It's like you have no fear. You just go do it. So when I opened the real estate brokerage, I decided, who am I going to be? Am I going to be that girl who's, kind of making herself a little small because she's always got something different going on? Or am I going to be that girl who does it and she doesn't have any fear? So when I was doing my branding, I put on there the name of the company. It was Merkay Realty. And then I put in another little place on the side note, another Cheryl Howard company. And it made me feel empowered. And she probably never saw it. A lot of people probably never noticed it. Some people did, and they commented on it, and it was kind of cool. But here's the identity crisis, is where we allow our own insecurities to make us small. Like every time somebody said, "What are you doing now?" I felt small and inferior because I had not been at the same company for 10, 15, 20 years like they had. Or like this other lady about reinventing myself. It made me feel small because, okay, these people are judging me, worrying about what other people think. And then that one conversation with that one person who said, "Girl, it's like you have no fear. You just get out there and do it." And it's like that was the little bit of medicine I needed to wash away all that other stuff, and to understand that there are 7.8 billion people on this planet, and we're all very, very different. We all have very different paths. We all have very different ways that our brain works, and some of it's just our DNA, some of it's just the way that the circumstances we grew up in or whatever, but we're all so different. So just like this, why do I even do this? Because I care about people. Well, why do you care so much about people? I don't know. I just do. It's part of who I am. So I'm not fussing anybody out there. But, people, sometimes people want to judge us based on their ideas about how life should be. And we've talked about this before. But so I don't know why it's important today for me to have this conversation with you, but for you guys who are out there in an identity crisis, thinking you're not good enough, or thinking that I have no right to care about humanity, right? Who am I to care about humanity? What can I do? I'm not a savior. I can't go save anybody. I'm not a guru. I can't teach. I can't give you these guaranteed steps are going to change your life or anything like that. But I can tell you what I've been through. And if you've been going through it too, maybe it gives you a little bit of hope, kind of like that girl. She didn't know how important those words were for me to hear her say. She had been at her job for 30 years. She was talking about retirement. And I admired her so much. And she said, you have no fear. I wish I could be like that. I mean, she went on for quite a while, and it just was really the medicine I needed. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you're feeling like you're less than somebody else because they do something that you wish you could do, or because you're embarrassed of who you are, or not embarrassed is kind of a strong word, or you feel inferior because of the way that you show up in the world. Hey, you are who you are, and you were put here for a specific reason. And there's nobody else. I just saw a card, and it's probably my favorite card, and I'm going to show it to y'all. There is nobody else on this planet. 7.8 billion sets of fingerprints, and none are the same. That's why they use them. And if science has changed their mind about that, I would love to know. Or they're identical. I was driving down the road one day. Y'all, I'm just rambling at this point. I was driving down the road. No, I'm not rambling. It's important. I was driving down the road one day, and as I would pass cars, I would look at the faces of the people. And this was probably about a year or two ago. And I remember thinking and feeling full in my heart that day that how amazing the Creator is. That even our faces aren't identical. Some of our faces resemble each other. Some of our faces in our families for sure resemble each other. And some people say everybody's got a twin in the world as far as the faces go. But as far as every single little feature, except for twins, and I don't know if it's maternal or paternal, but some twins might have all the same features. Anyway, my point is, you're here for a reason. You're here to do something that nobody else can do. You're here to hold the space for people that nobody else can hold the space for. I have a friend who works in a medical lab. Her deal is looking at blood and all that stuff. She knows all kinds of stuff about that. I listen to her and I think, golly, she's so smart. But whenever we start having conversations about this, it's like she's not even interested most of the time. But I'm not necessarily interested in her stuff either that she does at her work. I listen to it, but my point is, we are all different. We all came here. It takes every single one of us to be able to do the things that are necessary for this planet to continue to evolve and revolve, right? So here it is. There's nobody else who can play your instrument but you. Y'all, let me tell you something. People will try to make you feel small, or it could be your own insecurities making you feel small. The point is, it's time for us to all step up and be who we came here to be. This is the time. This is the time in this earth for the people who are here to reach out and help others, to do that, to reach out and help others. For the people who are meant to write a book that helps somebody else understand and walk through a traumatic experience that they're having to walk through right now. It's time to write that book. All those things, y'all, it is definitely time for us to stand up and take our place in this planet and quit worrying about the fact that we're not the normal kind of people. That's okay. We don't have to be normal. Okay, what is normal anyway? God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit. Show me clearly, what is the PS for this message? We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. We thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. And we thank you for clear and concise messages. So if there's something I forgot to say or could have said it better, show us. What is the PS? Look, it's the Knight of Pentacles, okay? So I feel like what that's saying is, there's steps to take. We and whenever we take the steps that are meant to be taken as we move forward in who we are. This doesn't say this pentacle, it's not about going to work at a factory. Nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. But it's not about going to work at a factory and working there for 30 years and then getting a gold-plated watch when you leave. That's not what it's about. This says that you can create into your reality the thing that you want to, the thing that drives you, the thing that makes your heart sing, the thing that only you can do, the thing that you were brought here to do. You can do that. It's a process. It doesn't just fall in your lap. We have to participate. We have to stand up and say, okay, yes, I'm going to do this. And then we walk it out. And it may not happen. It may not happen as quickly as we want it to. I feel like I have a hair. It may not happen as quickly as we want it to, but if we do what we're supposed to do and we're consistent about it and we're diligent about it, we can bring beautiful things into our experience, into our fruition, right? Whenever I opened that jewelry store, the first thing I did was went to my bank and said, hey, I want to borrow this amount of money to open this store. You know what my bank said? No, we don't loan money for inventory. I think that was my personal opinion. My husband at the time, his friend, the bank president, saying no because my husband didn't want me to do it. That's what I think. But it's okay. Doesn't matter because I continued to move forward and I didn't have to borrow any money to open it. But anyway, because I kept being persistent and consistent and allowing Spirit to show me different ways. I didn't realize necessarily that's what I was doing, but different ways, different resources that would be available to me to be able to do that. Okay, look. This is about, we don't need anybody's permission to be who we are. This is the card of independent abundance, right? An independent woman, an independent man. We have the authority in our lives. We don't need anybody else's authority to walk in our power. I don't need anybody else's authority to care about humanity. It's just what I am. It's just who I am, and it's what I do. I don't need anybody's permission to do that. That's something that was built into me before I came here. So I don't have to have anybody's permission for that to be my thing. So this is a message for me too, just so y'all know. And then we have this. I love this because basically this is Spirit saying, guys, it's yours to decide, right? She's got the world in her hand. So basically, let's look at that. She's saying, okay, this is my world. This is the world that I came in to live in. This is not gender specific. And I can either conform and live the way that society thinks I'm supposed to live. Go to work at the factory. Again, if you work at a factory, that's no big deal if that's what you want to do. But go to work at a factory, work there for 30 years, and collect a gold-plated watch when I leave. And then, and make my same amount of money every single week, every single month, and live according to that. Or we can go the other route, and it might be scary, and our money might be up and down, and everything might be crazy. But guess what? I trust the universe. I trust Spirit. I trust my guides to know that I'll never be without. Things might change. Material things might change. But you know what? But this right here is full. And as long as this right here is full, I have to trust and know. I'm not saying just me. I'm talking about you. We have to trust and know that the rest is going to fall into place because we're playing the music that we came here to play. Right? Guys, I love y'all so much. And there's so many of you out there that are on the cusp of making a decision about doing something. And you know what? I'm not pushing you to do it. But I'm just telling you, you don't need another person's permission to do it. You do not need a single person's permission to do it. You go do what you feel called to do. Because whenever we walk in our bliss, whenever we follow the passion that burns in our heart, I don't care if other people say, why do you want to do that? Why do you care so much about that? What do you think you can make a difference? Whatever it is people are saying to you, don't buy into it. Don't buy whatever their negative thoughts are. And the best thing to do is don't even ask them in the first place. I think I did a video about that a while back. When we're asking, why are we asking? Are we not quite ready yet in ourselves, so we're asking somebody else to give us permission? What is the reason that we're asking? The point is you don't need anybody's permission because you can bring something into your reality. You don't have to go with the norm, what's out there being offered to you. If you're in the hospital or in some kind of rehab facility, a facility, right? And it's lunchtime. They'll bring you a little paper. They say you can choose from this, this, and this to eat. You can choose from this, this, and this. That person's confined. They only have a certain amount of choices about what they can eat, what they can enjoy. But whenever we're out walking free, we have a multitude of things that we can choose from as far as eating. Not only are there different establishments that we can choose from, but there are different within the establishments, different things that we can choose from. So there's all kinds of stuff at our disposal. And so that's kind of what I feel like what he's saying is that you can choose to confine yourself to the limits of what society has to offer you, or you can go through the processes. Don't wait on somebody else to give you permission. It's your choice, right? It's your choice. Okay, that's enough. I love you guys so much. Y'all go out and have a super duper day, and I will start love readings again tomorrow. Bye.